And for people that have done plant medicine, and really, I've only used 5-MeO-DMT, which is, the mothership deal, which is the Sonoran desert toad, but people do ayahuasca and peyote and iboga and lidocaine, all these different, plant medicines. They all can potentially accomplish the same thing. But when you use those, you will get to a state of awareness where you are in the field, and the field is God. Now, I don't want to blow people away, because anyone who's a Christian or a Muslim or a Jew or whatever, this defies their understanding of what divinity is. But I don't care, because I know what divinity is, because I've been there. I've been in the field, right? And I've done it many times. And so, anyone who's been in this field will tell you the same thing, that the field is everything and nothing. It is like a vibrating hum of energy. And when you're in that field, there aren't words for it. Like, I'm doing my best on this show, and I've written a couple of articles about it, but it's literally this sense of just love. It's like a vibrating plasmatic discharge where you're like out of your body, and you just hear this harmonic frequency. And it's like, if you're familiar with the or the Om meditations, that is what it is. And so you're in this sound field, and you're in pure love, and you feel pure love, and your body is like encased in pure love. And so just instantly that is what unconditional love, aka the source frequency, God, the unified field, whatever you want to call it. There's a million different names for it. But God, for you guys out there, and I know I'm going to upset people, but God is not sitting in a white robe with a long white beard, with a golden chalice, and trident, sitting in the sky judging people whether or not you can go into heaven and you can't. No, yes. It's not how it works, but that's how most people have been trained by the Abrahamic, and again, not just the Abrahamic, but the Eastern religious teachings, because they want men who created these religions want other men and women. And I wish I could come up with this comment, bro, but this is from the great Paul Wallace. They want human beings paying, praying, and obeying. So that is what religions teach mankind. They do not teach spirituality. They teach enslavement. They teach mind control. They teach entrainment and indoctrination. They teach you to go to mass every Sunday, or if you're in the Jewish faith, the temple. And if you know anything about the Bible or any scriptural text, whether it's the Torah or the Bhagavad Gita or the Mahabharata, and I've read all of these things backwards and forwards, you have to understand that these are allegorical, as Jason, talks about in his work. And we all say you have to have eyes to see and ears to hear. So you cannot interpret what is said in these ancient texts literally. These are allegorical. And the dark side has hijacked all of these texts too, to encode them with error strategically, to lead people astray. So people are going to be like, Jay, how do you know what's truth and how do you know what's error? You know what's truth when you develop a pure heart. And a pure heart can come from, and it will come from, the inner work, which is meditation, introspection, contemplation, sitting in nature, attaining the still mind, the still point, stillness, 0 point, the now space. There's a million different terms for it, but you can't get to that level of awareness without practice. Yeshua, aka the Christ, aka the Christos, aka the avatar being that people in the Roman Catholic and Christian religions know as Jesus Christ, which is the myth, is a avatar being who came to humanity in this matrix to teach people one thing, and that was that their divinity was inside them. The kingdom of God is within you. Now, most people don't understand this, and the assholes, I have a good friend that calls them the evil MFers, taught mankind that kingdom was in a church or a temple or a house of worship, and that they had to pay for their sins, and they had to contribute to the church to enter the pearly gates of heaven. And I can go on and on and on, right? But the reality is, you as an individual are right now regardless of what vibrational level you're at, are connected to God at all times. You are not separate. You were made in his image, and his is like a frame. They create mind control. There's no man or woman when you're laying in that field, there's no sexual identification. But we think me, him, I, again, we're trained that God is a man or God is a male or patriarchal figure. But that's not true. But, we're also inculcated with that statement that we say he. But the reality is that God is inside you. And Christ, again, the Christos, I like to call it the light of being or the higher self or the superconscious wisdom that each of us has internally, is only found, i.e. connected to and represented through this inner work. Because when you sit in this place of meditation, introspection, contemplation, grounding in nature, it enters you. And you can't really explain how it enters you, but you have to work at it. It's a practice.